A very great morning to you watching Westnile Television, wherever you're catching this show live from. You're most welcome. Today is 27th of June 2023. My name is Denis Oringi and it is KOKOLIRIKO Live on Westnile Television. I'm here to give you a breadth of every information that you need to know locally, nationally and also internationally. And we shall be starting with the local stories here in West Nile, in northern Uganda, before we dive into what is happening at the national level, as I will be diving into the Daily Monitor and the New Vision. And so these two papers will be able to give you some of the big stories that are making headlines in these dailies right there for you. And also we shall also dive into the international stories that you need to know. And I know that tomorrow, according to the information that we have obtained, it is going to be Eid celebrations for our brothers and sisters in the Muslim faith, and so tomorrow might be public holiday, and so that is something that I must let you know this morning, and so that tomorrow you will be able to know what will be happening right there. Do not be surprised if you see that things are changing in your neighborhood, more especially those who have Muslim brothers and sisters. Tomorrow there will be a lot of eatings, and I have been told that it is the Eid that they slaughter many animals. And I do not know whether there are people who have invited me. I need to check my inbox whether I have some messages of invitation inviting me to feast together with these Muslim brothers and sisters. And also you have to know that the post-primary athletics are going on as I do talk right now for Arua City, and so started yesterday at the Docas Inzikru Stadium, Barifa, here in Arua City. And we have not yet registered any indiscipline case, only that there was a minor issue between a student of Arua Secondary School and the teacher, and that fight was over the issue to do with the food right there. And so, you know, students with the food, and I have been told that there were some slappings, and so the student was also slapping the teacher, and the teacher was also slapping back at the student. So that is the kind of relationship now the teachers do have with the learners. It's quite unfortunate that learners do not understand the importance of these teachers who are really teaching them. Why do you slap your teacher? And if your teacher is telling you don't do this, why do you go ahead doing? And so that was you know, a minor scenario that happened yesterday at Barifa. Nevertheless, I have to tell you that things are moving on well, and the discipline this time around, I think it has been really maintained by the students, and so we appreciate very much the students for exhibiting that maximum discipline during the athletics at Barifa. In the past, we used to get different stories, and for your information, St. Joseph's College Umbashi is not participating. Remember, they were banned from any co-curricular activities for 5 years, and so they are still serving the ban, and we shall be waiting for them to join other schools in the co-curricular activities that are always undertaken here in Arua City. And so we wish them well as they concentrate in academic. Meanwhile, for the students who are participating actively in the co-curricular activities, we also wish them well. Today is the climax, and so our sports department will be able to bring for us more stories in regards to the athletics that are ongoing. We shall be able to hear from them issues to do with which schools are really doing well. And according to one of the students of one of the schools here in Arua, he told me that their school only had 1 day practice on Friday, and then on Monday they were told that the inter-schools athletics championship will be taking place at Barifa. And so yesterday their school had to register for participation. I do not know exactly the number of schools this time around that have registered for the athletics, and last year I have to tell you that Arua City never sent any school to participate in the National Athletics Championship right there. So it was quite unfortunate for the city authority of Arua. This was because of the confusion that emerged after day one of the athletics championship last year at Mvara Secondary School playgrounds, where students became rowdy and police had to fire tear gas to disperse the students. And because of that indiscipline that was exhibited by some of the students, it couldn't really allow the organizers to have day two of the athletics. And so this time around, the day two of the athletics majorly finals for some of the races and also the track events will be taking place today. And so for those who are within Arua city, it is important that you should be able to go and share up with your OBs and OGs and also the schools that you went to, and so right at Barifa. And I urge the security personnel to continue guiding these students. They always guide, and that is what they're supposed to do, to guide these students so that they should not really turn rowdy. I only pray for my sisters who always go for such events to be extra careful, because in such events there are hooligans who also take advantage of such situation to do what they think it is fit and right for them to do, which is not good. And Barifa is surrounded by forest, and so there are a lot of things that do happen inside the forest. And so I request my sisters who will be moving to really participate in the ongoing athletics competition taking place at Docas Nzikru Stadium right there. And so let us show that discipline that we should really exhibit during such events. And so it's a good one, so that we have our schools also participate in the championship. And for athletics, it's quite different from sports, from ball games. They select best performing athletes and also the track events, participants to participate at the national level. And so these students will be drawn from different schools within the city to have the competition at the national level right there for you. And somebody has been also advocating for the regional, competition when we have the participants from Arua should be able to compete with the participants from other districts or other cities, other districts that we have in West Nile, because we have only one city. And then from there, they get a West Nile team to go and participate at the national level. I think that will also be good, and it will reduce a cost of, the cost of carrying out the activities. Okay, away from that, I felt it is important that I should be able to give that highlight for you, so that you get to know what will take place, or what is taking place in your surrounding. And you have to know that today court will be able to decide where exactly the Lady Justice Stella Arash Amoko will be buried, and the judgment will be passed today. But according to the rumors that are coming through, that the husband to late Stella Arash Amoko has accepted that the late justice, that is Stella Arash Amoko, should be buried in Nebi. And so more of that information we shall be able to give you, as we shall be able to confirm also from the court that will deliver its judgment using email today. And so I think the country is waiting. Remember, it is going to be the state burial, and so government of the Republic of Uganda has taken over the burial of one of the judges on the bench of the Supreme Court of this country, and Stella Arash Amoko, who has gone to be with the Lord. And so the whole of last week there were a lot of hula balloons surrounding where exactly she should be buried, and that forced the husband together with the children and the siblings to go to court to have where exactly she will be buried right there. And so away from that story, dear viewer, let's get to some of the local stories that we have for you right this morning. The State Minister for Northern Uganda, Honorable Kuyoshin Grace Freedom, has warned the school administrators in Northern Uganda to desist from sending away learners over petty payments to school. And the minister made this warning on Sunday during 60th anniversary celebrations of Nebi Cathedral Parish in Nebi Catholic Diocese. And Minister Kuyoshin represented the Prime Minister of the Republic of Uganda, Right Honorable Robina Nabanja, as the chief guest. Let's have more on this.
Yesterday, Immaculate Heart of Mary, Nebi Cathedral Parish, the headquarters of Nebi Catholic Diocese, celebrated 60 years anniversary under the theme Do What He Tells You, taken from the book of John, chapter 2, verse 1 to 5. Nebi Cathedral Parish, that was under the jurisdiction of Westnile Catholic Parish, became autonomous in 1963. The celebrations attracted many Catholic believers from across the diocese and beyond. The celebrations were also used for raising funds towards the completion of the Nebi Cathedral Multipurpose Hall. In his homily during the Holy Mass, the Bishop Ordinary of Nebi Catholic Diocese, Right Reverend Raphael Pomonywakoraj, acknowledged the contributions of the first parish priest who founded the parish.
It is the first parish in this diocese founded by a diocesan priest. All the other parishes we have were founded missionaries, but Nebi was founded by Father Emilio Negua, and this was the first diocesan priest that founded a parish of Nebi.
The bishop also underscored the contributions made by the parish priests who served in the cathedral parish.
We thank the priests that passed through this parish as administrators, as pastors over the years. Each one of them has left a footmark, has pushed the parish to a certain level, both in quality and quantity, and we still enjoy the fruits of their work.
It was then a moment of joy after the Mass as Christians, together with the invited guests led by the State Minister for Northern Uganda, accompanied by the area members of Parliament, displayed their dancing strokes as they moved to support the fundraising drive to complete the multi-million multi-purpose parish hall. The State Minister for Northern Uganda, who represented the Prime Minister of Uganda, Right Honorable Robina Nabanja, as the chief guest, announced 20 million Ugandan shillings supported from the Prime Minister.
Again, danu maujolo lembe pa Prime Minister, ujolo maber, lembe ne winjire bange, ma be jolo sende ma message maku bini bagania kuda kur lembe isimu. Send a TA office. Million Pirario.
Ashim Suleiman, Nebi Municipal Member of Parliament, who has been part and parcel in any fundraising drives organized by Nebi Catholic Diocese, even when he was not yet a member of Parliament, says he has a very strong attachment with the Catholic faith, much as he is a Muslim.
Some of us, like I said, when I made a brief speech there, we used to come there and pray in that church when I was a primary pupil in Nebi Primary School. So we used to come there every morning before we go to class. We will come there and pray. And you know, for me, I'm a Muslim, but I will come there just to go and see Dr. Maria holding his son Jesus. So they will bring us irrespective of our religion.
The State Minister for Northern Uganda, Kuyushin Grace Freedom, who contributed over 2 million at her capacity, used the occasion to caution the schools not to send away learners because of petty payments and calls upon parents to always play their role in educating their children.
The President has always moved around and has wondered why is enrollment of children in schools, especially primary schools, low. But this has also been coupled with the statistics from UBOS which states that out of all the children in P7, only 12% go to secondary school. That means 88% disappear. They just drop out of school. No head teacher must send children out of school because of prep fees and because of report card money. We parents, we need to support our children with uniform, with books, and with food. Actually, out of these three, food is the most important. You can see the example of adults in workshops. By 10, they are already complaining of hunger. But you have sent your child to school without food, and the child is going to be there from 8 to 4 p.m. How does your child concentrate in class?
According to the census conducted by Immaculate Heart of Mary, Nebi Cathedral Parish in 2022-2023, it is found out that the parish has a total of over 11,000 Catholics. Denis Oringi, Westnile TV, Nilecast.
All right, thank you very much. That is the beauty of Catholicism right there. And so I have to tell you that Nebi Catholic Diocese is one of the dioceses in Uganda that have got a lot of believers in Catholicism. And so those were just a representation of the Catholics in Nebi Catholic Diocese. And I have to tell you that Nebi Catholic Diocese extends up to Rhino Camp. And so one would be asking himself or herself that why is it Nebi Catholic Diocese extends up to Rhino Camp? And so I do not understand the reason why they have made it right that way. You have to know that Nebi Catholic Diocese was carved from Arua Diocese. And by that time also, before Arua Diocese was created, we were all under Gulu Diocese, and currently we are under what we call the Gulu Archdiocese. And so Gulu is now the Archdiocese of the Catholic province, this particular side. And so we have under Gulu Archdiocese, we have Gulu Archdiocese, we have Nebi, we have Arua, we have Lira. And so they are always called Ganal, Gulu, Arua, Nebi, and that is and Lira. And so these are the dioceses under Gulu Archdiocese. And for your information, you have to know that next year's Martyrs' Day celebration will be animated by Nebi Catholic Diocese, and so the preparations have started. That's according to the Bishop of Nebi Catholic Diocese, Right Reverend Raphael Pomoy Wakorach, right there. And so you did see the dancing strokes displayed by the State Minister for Northern Uganda together with the area members of Parliament during the Holy Mass to celebrate the 60th anniversary of Nebi Cathedral Parish, that is Nebi Catholic Diocese, right there. And I believe that the multi-purpose hall will be completed out of the little that the believers were able to raise, and it was a moment of celebrations and happiness, shown by the believers of Nebi Catholic Diocese, and we do appreciate them. May the good Lord bless the hands that gave, and continue to bless also those who did not give, so that next time they can also give towards the construction of the multi-purpose hall and also other projects that the diocese is undertaking currently. The Nebi Catholic Diocese is undertaking the project of the completion of the Bishop House right there, where President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni was able to extend 150 million towards the construction of the Bishop's House. And so according to the Bishop of Nebi Catholic Diocese, Right Reverend Raphael Pomoy Wakorach, says that they are still asking for 150 million from the President of the Republic of Uganda, because in total the President promised 300 million, and so there's still 150 million that need to be fulfilled by the President of the Republic of Uganda as he pledged to support the church right there. So we do appreciate whoever has contributed towards the development of the church in our country, Uganda. And so let us adopt the local donors forum for Arua Catholic Diocese is going on, and I've been told that 1st of July, that will be Saturday, there will be a launch of the local donors forum right at Christ the King Catholic Parish here in Arua City. And so let us all become local donors to support the church. And so the Catholic Diocese of Arua is looking forward to building home for the priest, those who will not be feeling well, they are sick, and they should have a home where they can really stay. And also those who will be sickly, they can be kept at that home that the diocese is looking forward to having here in Arua Diocese. And so they're using the local donor forum to really raise a fund. And so every first Sunday of the month, it is always a Jege collection Sunday. And so they ask whoever has 100 shilling coin in his pocket, whether 500, 100 or 50 shillings, you can really contribute under that particular project of Jege. And so this is taking place across the parishes that we have in Arua Diocese. And so I also would love to request those who have good heart towards the development of our nation, development of our church. We have to really contribute to support the diocese as they look forward to having the priest home that they're planning to construct at Pokea. And so they have a piece of land there that they want to set up this home for the priest who will retire from the service and who will be sickly, and so that they have somewhere that they can really rest. I appreciate very much the white priest who are working in Nebi Catholic Diocese. They planned for the priest of Nebi Catholic Diocese at Angal, and so there are some priests who might not be offering services at this particular time. They are resting at Angal, and there are those who are sickly. They are also being taken care of at Angal priest home right there. And so these contributions support a lot the church in as far as development is concerned. And so that's what you need to know right there. Thank you very much, dear viewer. You have to know that 10 minutes to the top of the hour over 8 a.m. right on Westnile Television. Let's have more stories this morning for you. Authorities in Maracha district have blamed Ministry of Agriculture, Animal Industries and Fisheries for the loss of lives from the flash floods in Ayi stream and Awiziru sub-county over failure to complete the bridge construction project in the area. In March 2022, Maracha district local government benefited from 1 billion shillings bridge construction project from Ministry of Agriculture, Animal Industries and Fisheries under the Agriculture Cluster Development Program in order to link farmers to the nearby markets and find benefits for their produce. But to date, the construction of the bridge stalled 2 months from the onset, affecting people's access to social services. Frederick Dramadri visited the scene and now he reports more on
Residents in Awiziru County have decried the delayed completion of Ayi Bridge, still under construction by Ministry of Agriculture, Animal Industries and Fisheries in Marsa District. From the onset of the rains this year, 1 person has been reported dead and 5 others pulled alive after falling into the flood's water in the valley, raising eyebrows among the members of the community, as no alternative temporary bridge has been provided by the contractor. The bridge construction project launched in March 2022 under the Agricultural Cluster Development Program to aid farmers' linkages with agricultural produce to the nearby markets of Odamachaku, Lia, Arua City and Nyadri, was abandoned shortly in 2 months after the commencement of the construction works. Jovik Asizu, the area councillor representing persons with disabilities to Awiziru County in Marasa District, reveals that access to farmland by communities is hard, besides other social services being blocked, especially during rain season.
We have rescued almost 5 of them. They fall in water and then we rescued them, but 1 died completely. Now crossing the river is now very hard for us. We have children from this side who are studying on the other side and they are not able to cross the river. And those who are digging across are not able to manage. Then the disabled are totally cut off. So we have problems.
But Stephen Obitre, Marsa District Chairman, says failure to complete the project has affected the livelihood of the people in the district and urged ministry officials to devise alternative means for the people to access services.
For us, 1 billion to fix a bridge connecting Lokura to Olovanjupi, the other side across. 1 billion. The project started around March. It started well, but as we speak now, it is also abandoned. This is a central government project that is controlled by the center. The contractor was selected by the center. The site was abandoned just after 2 months from the time it started. The unfortunate thing is school is the other side. There's a very huge population across. It has been difficult for school-going pupils to cross there, because when the bridge started, their temporary bridge was broken. It is terrible. The people there used to use the temporary bridge to access market in Arua city, because that is the biggest market. They used to go there. But because of absence of this bridge, they now take longer routes.
Meanwhile, Paul Walakra, Marsa District Chief Administrative Officer, attributes the stalling of the project to the failure by the Ministry of Agriculture, Animal Industries and Fisheries to pay the contractor. He says they are putting more efforts to ensure that the payment is fast-tracked in order to rescue the communities to access services.
He really tried to sue the Ministry of Agriculture, but the problem is paying next to him. We are in touch with the Ministry of Agriculture. They had promised us to clear him before the end of the year.
The contractor, not yet identified by press time, is said to have been sourced by Ministry of Agriculture, Animal Industries and Fisheries and was awarded 6 months for the construction of the 1 billion bridge, and this was expected to end by August 2022, but to date, construction works have remained at the bed of the bridge. Frederick Dramadri, Westnile TV, Nilecast.
All right, thank you very much, Frederick Dramadri, for this report about the stalled bridge that was supposed to be completed by Ministry of Agriculture and Industry and Fisheries. You know, this is not the only bridge that has stalled. It reminds me of a bridge that is in Vura Sub-County, Arua District also. Was supposed to be undertaken under the same project of the Agriculture Cluster Development Program that the Ministry of Agriculture, Animal Industry and Fisheries, is supposed to implement. It's quite unfortunate that 1 billion project seems to have stalled just like that. And it's good that the district leaders have really, visited the site and they have confirmed. And I believe that they will be able to write a report that will inform the decision at the ministry level. With the CAD's own donor funding, I do not know whether the bridge will be constructed. We still have to fast track what exactly happened to the money that was allocated for the construction of that abandoned bridge that has left 1 person dead and 5 served right there. And so that is quite unfortunate right there. Let's get to Moyo District, where pupils from 9 primary schools in the district have participated in the first ever inaugural debating tournament organized by Noble Debate and Speech Forum under the theme Academic Performance Improvement in Moyo District, a call for responsibility to every concerned stakeholders at Moyo Town Council Primary School. Okumu Dominic reports more on this.
Pupils in Moyo District have participated in a debating tournament for the first time. The inaugural tournament organized by Noble Debate and Speech Forum under the theme Academic Performance Improvement in Moyo District, a call for responsibility to every concerned stakeholder, attracted 9 primary schools within the district, namely Moyo Town Council Primary School, Mada Primary School, Gopi Primary School, Erepi Primary School, Moyo Boys Primary School, Moyo Girls Primary School, Nur Islamic Primary School, Homing Dove International Primary School and Amua Primary School, and each school had 2 debating groups.
Everybody, I think, saw it. Nobody can dispute the judgment, because I, for one, as a guest of honor, also witnessed the final debate. So at this juncture, on behalf of multi-local government and also on my own behalf, allow me to present the trophy to the winning team of the debating club. That is Homing Dove International Grammar School.
At the beginning of this debate, I was not feeling confidence and I don't have any fluency. But when we were probably exposed to this debate, I was confident. I thought for myself that, Josephine, you have the feeling to win this debate. So today, you must win this debate and take the trophy home. So that is how I came up with this debate. I was feeling confident, so that is how we made it up. Now, right now, even though I'm taking to the parliament, I will not fear anybody.
Mr. Asobasi Leonard, the co-founder and president of Noble Debate and Speech Forum, said the forum believes in the importance of bringing the young people together so that they learn from one another, and this makes the future to be bright. If all the stakeholders play their roles well, the debating tournament will become an annual event in the district.
So we believe it is very necessary for us to bring the young people together, and these young people should learn from each other. Today I have seen teams sharpening one another. The other brings an argument, the other attacks. This will make our future to be clear. We believe if the shareholders in this particular activity play their role well, for us as Noble Debate and Speech Forum, we are committed to see into it that this becomes part and parcel of us, and it becomes an annual event.
The schools are urged to bring back the debating culture and establish vibrant debating clubs, which will help in promoting the spoken language and improve academic performance. Mr. Adrawa Godfrey Free, the chairperson Primary Head Teachers Association in Moyo District, said he knows one of the recommendations on literacy and numeracy is to improve debating in primary schools so that the level of literacy and numeracy is improved to achieve performance.
In INAPE report of 2018, one of the recommendations on literacy and numeracy was to improve debating in our primary schools so that the level of literacy and numeracy is improved to achieve performance. Of course, they have given 4 key areas. One area is testing the competencies of our learners. One area there is the lowly proficiency, followed by moderately proficiency, followed by proficient, and finally highly proficient. So all these 4 categories, if you add them together and we put it into our learners, then academic performance will improve.
Honorable Anyanzo Terry, the Secretary for Health, Moyo District Local Government, who represented the Local Council 5 Moyo District, appealed to the members of the debating forum to castigate down the debating competitions to the farthest sub-counties in the district, but not only focus on the urban schools.
So my appeal to you members of the forum is to cascade down this debating competition to the farthest sub-counties in the district. Because I can see the schools around here, the participating schools here are the very urban and the nearby sub-counties. So you also make the schools like Lefori, Tufele, Laropi, Bari, and so forth to also benefit from this kind of debate. This is my appeal to you.
The debate competition started with the 3 preliminary rounds and then advanced to the quarterfinals, semi-finals, and then the finals, with different motions being debated in all the different stages. Homing Dove International Primary School emerged the champion after making it to the finals against Nur Islamic Primary School. Meanwhile, the runners-up were only awarded medals that were provided by Noble Debate and Speech Forum, an organization that was formed in 2022 by students from different higher learning institutions who come from Moyo District with the aim of using debate to improve performance of learners in schools. I am Dominic Antonio Kumu for Westnile TV News.
All right, thank you very much, Dominic Okumu, for that report about the debating competition right there. It's a very good initiative. I think kudos to Noble Debate and Speech Forum for thinking about the future of the young persons in this country. Without training these learners how to speak, how to debate in public, we are having the future doomed for them. And that's why if you had to really, weigh the level of debate at Parliament of the Republic of Uganda, you can only give kudos to some few parliamentarians who are always, rising up to speak at Parliament of the Republic of Uganda. And this means that they were very active during their school life in debating compared to some of those who went as entrepreneurs just to get that money and do business. And so I've been told that there are categories of people who are at Parliament of the Republic of Uganda. They are debaters, they are entrepreneurs, businessmen and women, and there are those who went as tourists to understand how Parliament operates, to understand how Kampala is, because they were given ticket to be in Kampala. And so when you have to follow parliamentary plenary sittings that do take place every Tuesday to Thursday, you will find that around 5 people are the only active persons at Parliament of the Republic of Uganda. And without them, let me tell you, Parliament is doomed. And you know those names. One of them is the Shira Municipality Member of Parliament, Semu Uganda, who has been so instrumental in shaping the debate and ideas at Parliament of the Republic of Uganda. I talk about the Joseph Sewungu, the man who always, put on his rosary. He could not miss to say something at Parliament of the Republic of Uganda. Talking about Matthias Mpuga, who is the leader of opposition at Parliament of the Republic of Uganda. There are names that I can really mention, both from the ruling party and also from the opposition party. There are those. Majorly, the members from the opposition party are always on their toes at Parliament of the Republic of Uganda. Not all, few. Meanwhile, from the ruling government, you have to know that for them, they follow the hierarchy because they have the government chief whip, they have the leader of government business, who is none other than the Prime Minister of the Republic of Uganda, then the ministers. And so what Parliament expects from the government in power is the response to some of the issues that are being raised by the parliamentarians as matters of national importance. And so, matter of national importance, it is that moment where members of parliament, whether from the ruling party or from the opposition, they rise up to really tell the country what is happening in their area. And so it is important for our members of parliament to always do research. And you can do this research if you're good in speaking what you have found on ground, and you're good at really convincing members of parliament to understand, convincing government to really feel what people are really feeling in your constituency right there. I am not a member of parliament. I don't know whether I will be one of them. By God's grace, if God blesses me, I can become one, because it's just a matter of you having that confidence without thinking about money. You can easily go through. I have understood that there are people who went to parliament not just because they had money, but because they were able to articulate issues properly to the voters, and that's why they were able to go through. Coupled with money as well, because you cannot stand in our country, Uganda, in any elective position, and you just go like that without pulling resources to finance or facilitate your political ambition right there. Let's get to Rua City, where Care International in Uganda, together with the district representatives from Yumbe, Moyo, Obongi, Zombo, and Ajumani, launched the Women Voice and Leadership Project 2023-2027 worth $2.7 billion Canadian dollars in Arua district. And so the 5-year project is intended to improve the performance of women rights organizations to deliver effective sexual reproductive health and economic rights programs among women and girls in refugee settlements and host communities in West Nile. Take a look.
Westnile Television nowcast. Care International in Uganda, together with the district representatives from Yumbe, Moyo, Obongi, Zombo, and Ajumani, launched a Women Voice and Leadership Project 2023-2027, a 5-year project intended to improve on the performance of women rights organizations to deliver effective sexual reproductive health and economic rights programs among women and girls in refugee settlements and host communities in the West Nile region.
This project is 5 years. 2023 to 2027. funded. It's funded by Pathy Family Foundation and Marcel Jean Cout Foundation through Care Canada. And through Care Canada, they are working with Uganda so that we deliver on this project. The project goal is basically looking at ways of improving the performance of women rights organizations and women-led or youth-led organizations to deliver on sexual and reproductive health and economic rights in the refugee settlements as well as the host communities.
Then I will request you to go back and streamline the activities of sexual and reproductive health and the PWDs so that they can also benefit from this project. Maybe with the course of time, this project is also kind of gazetting reducing the different districts that we have.
The district can make it succeed or fail. Now, the ideal situation should have been you make this kind of meeting, you make the leadership of a particular district or the regions aware of what you intend to do, and then from there, you go ahead and take on other processes. 10 local partners. Now the 10, and when we're talking about the 10, we also have districts who are hosting the refugees. That's another angle. I want us to be really very frank about this. 2, then we are talking about NGOs or local partners who are working in more than 3 districts, and you've talked of 4. Now, in my own understanding, that status is already moving away from a local CBO. That will be very much in support of what we are talking about. And therefore, it's my humble appeal. I think we need to take some of these recommendations seriously because it can help us to try and take on this work and move on well. Or there is already failure in, first of all, sharing at initial stage, and of which I would strongly appeal that you need to move backward to try and correct or redo what is already coming out here.
I want to call upon the executive directors of all these organizations, make sure that this opportunity that you are given can be put into proper use, so that the world will know that when women given opportunities, they can make it. I want to request all of us, let us coordinate, let us cooperate. One of the biggest problems that we find in West Nile and Northern Uganda is our people are not united. Let us put our hands together, that as this program comes, we all cooperate to see that we move our people to a certain level.
I never want to believe that empowering women brings competition and destroys the home. I believe it builds the home and it builds the family. Sex or reproductive health. Who is that person who can do it better than a woman? The one who is going to be with this child, see the child grow. The target is not about the woman, the target is about the home. The way we call home and the woman in the local language, you know, Oku and Abu, I don't know in other languages, in Luba. We're focusing on the home, about the home. So please let us look at this positively, and they clarify that the target is not just women, but they want to make the women to be in the lead, to come out, to talk and not to hide so many things. Sexual reproductive health rights, we know that in this country, and unfortunately it was some of the civil societies that were named negatively in the area of homosexuality. I want to be open here. With non-care, when we saw the objectives of the project and what, we are not worried about anything. We are actually saying that this project will help us promote the good of our culture, of our beliefs in sexual reproductive issues. And this way, we will open the minds. We don't want the sickness of homosexuality. We have the anti-homosexuality bill. And for us, we are going to promote the good that we believe in, the good that our culture believes in. Probably when we select the CBOs, that this team comes and we get to know them, and we understand them, and we get to understand the nitty-gritties of the activities that they are going to do, and then we shall know that we can keep consulting and knocking at their doors and work together. And that way, our colleagues, the voices from the CEOs that were not cooperating, will not be pronounced.
A Women Voice and Leadership project funded by Pathy Family Foundation and Maciel Ejin Kut through Care Uganda is estimated to the tune of 2.7 million Canadian dollars. Okumaringa Christine, for Westnile Television, Nowcast.
All right, thank you very much. We wish the leaders well in the implementation of this particular project that is being rolled out by Care International Uganda right there. Let's go for a break, dear viewer. When we come back, we still have more local stories for you, and we shall be diving into what we have in Asheli sub-region and also what is happening at the national level. My name is Denis Oringi, and it is KOKOLIRIKO Live on Westnile Television. Let's go for a break, and when we come back, we will be having more for you. Good morning.
Westnile TV, lighting up the region. Westnile TV, lighting up the region.
Get more for less on Star Times this Easter season. Cartoon channel for best children entertainment. New global series. Local drama on Makula TV and football all around the world. Simply make weekly or monthly subscription and enjoy upgrade to the next bouquet. For classic or super bouquet customers, subscribe for a month and enjoy 5 days extra. Family time with Star Times. Star Times is regulated by UCC.
Westnile TV, lighting up the region.
Thank you very much for joining us, dear viewer. We do appreciate you very much. It is KOKOLIRIKO Live on Westnile Television. My name is Denis Oringi. Let us dive into more stories we have for you. Let's go to Germany. The Paramount Chief of Madi, His Royal Highness Drani Stephen Kangoro, is now a free man following the dismissal of the case on 23rd June 2023 by the Chief Magistrate, His Worship Innocent Omara, at the Chief Magistrate Court in Ajumani District. After all, recently the Paramount Chief was arrested for inciting violence and attempted murder. Now, as we talk, he is a free man after his case, where the cases were dismissed against him.
The paramount chief of the Madi, His Royal Highness Danny Stephen Kongoro, is now a free man finally. The Chief Magistrate, His Worship Innocent Omara, on 23rd June 2023 dismissed the case at the Magistrate Court. The paramount chief was on April 19, 2023 remanded by the Grade 1 Magistrate of Ajumani, His Worship Judy Kamuganga. On 5th May 2023, the Chief Magistrate Moyo Magistrate Area, His Worship Ronald Kaizi, has granted the paramount chief bail. This is what the paramount chief said after the dismissal of his case.
These are the people that concocted these charges on me. You know what I'm saying? So all I say to the Madi people, be strong, be long-suffering, be patient, and we shall get there in the right way. We can get there in the wrong way, but it's important that we get there in the right way, because that one is sustainable and it's for the benefit of all.
Ms. Bakora Beka, a wife in the Palenyua clan, however, was happy to see the paramount chief walked free.
Malakosi opini utiti ugu kukusa iya iko mansora anyela ke America ngwere erta cheriao kudu tenzo duringbe yale asesi yako kole ile ngeri nya bisi iri of charity angwa ex
sela sire e bangbingbi cultural leaders ma ianye ruru barusi tare ban lo fugari bo ebera okay mo ko kala loga okay I'm taking way forward see how they are there very good.
Reporting for Westnile TV, Onzima Alan, Ajumani Nile.
Right, thank you very much, Onzima Alan, for that report about the setting of the paramount chief of Madi Free, and he's one guy that is one of those personalities that I always love following when they speak, and they speak with a lot of confidence, and they give confidence to the subjects as well. And so we wish him well as he continues to really speak on behalf of the people of Madi, and he has been one of those who would really stand strong to defend their cultural heritage right there. And so we thank God that you're finally free. We thank you very much, and I believe that all will be well from your side. Let's get to actually celebration. The legislators under the umbrella body Parliamentary Forum on Food Security and Population Development have raised the concerns over rising prevalence of teenage pregnancy in Amoro district. The legislators last week visited the district on a sensitization drive following reports from area leaders of the growing vice in their community. Stephen Okello reports more.
Clark North legislator Anthony Akol says the increasing number of teenage pregnancy in the Acholi sub-region is worrying the local leaders and stakeholders in the region.
To make it worse, in our research, more of these people who are impregnating the girl child, they are people who are married. They have 1 wife, 2 wives, 3 wives, but they are impregnating the young girls.
Locals blame this on bad cultural practices, poor interpretation of children's rights and responsibility, corruptions among law enforcement officers, while prosecuting the culprits, among others.
This law of early marriage, it is actually enacted from the parliament very nicely, but the implementation here on the ground is never.
At daytime when parents are there doing the burial, the children are there in their respective places, but at night, all the children gathered there to make the dances. When it is at night, I myself, as a big person like this, go to a young girl, giving her some small money to enlure her to dance with me, and also by that one, they will, if you are dancing, feeling comes in.
Michael Lacogne, the chairman of Moro District, urges students to always respect their parents, remain resilient, and finish their study.
Some of the girls will become also a village woman if they don't listen to you, if they don't listen to us. So our coming is to encourage you, not to witch hunt you. Our coming is to allow you to work hard and say it is possible.
During their visit to Amuro district, Musa Wamala, the coordinator for Uganda parliamentarians on food security and population development, tasked students to put education first.
Life is a choice. Isn't it what he has said? When you want to become a border rider, pack your bags and go. When you want to become an engineer, keep in school. When you want to become a young mother, just become pregnant now. But when you want to become a serious and educated mother, wait until you become a graduate.
While addressing parents at Opara sub-county in Amuro district, Kakembo Michael, the MP and Tebe municipality, says parents should always put the education of their children first.
I am the living testimony. I got into an accident. I called it an accident because we were young. I was in a senior 4 and I impregnated somebody's daughter. Somebody's daughter, just like any other parent. He thought for him it was wise to send that younger girl to me to get married. As young as I was, I want to thank my parents before you. I want to thank my parents before you. Because my mother knew that we were both young. Got me. He comforted me. She knew it was an accident. She brought the daughter, my girlfriend then, to our family, and my mother took both of us back.
Following this report, Amuro district local government is embarking on forming clubs to maintain young girls in school. Stephen Okello for Westnile Television, Nilecast.
All right, thank you very much, Stephen Okello, for that report. And I think it calls for collective responsibility to see how we can end teenage pregnancy in our community. This is not only happening in Ashuli, a sub-region. Come to West Nile. It was worse during COVID-19, where thousands of young girls got pregnant. And who impregnated them? Those who went to school. They have wives. They're grown up. They have money. They're business persons. And so it's quite unfortunate that those who know things seem not to be knowing things. And they get into things by impregnating these girls that are supposed to be in school. And you have to know it affects girls more than the boy child. And so we need to see how we can really end this particular vice in our community. What beats my understanding, these girls are with us. You understand? And where these girls stay, they have their parents, they have leaders, the local leadership. I do not know what they are doing. We keep on blaming, but we don't understand what are some of the problems. And so we need to identify the source of the problem, and then we close up. And so if water is flowing, what do? Do you continue collecting water or allowing water to flow, or you close the tap so that the water cannot really come out? And I always like giving this simple example. When you're in your office and your papers keep falling down, and you know very well that your papers are being blown by wind, do you continue collecting papers on the ground and also from the ground, and then you put it back on your table and the wind keep blowing off the paper from your table? What you need to do is to identify where the wind is coming from, and then you block the source, and so that the papers can really stay where they are. And so if we continue just to do postmortem when it comes to the issue of teenage pregnancy, and we don't identify what are the causes of this early pregnancy and early marriage, and then we are still wasting a lot of time. And so I believe that we should be able to identify the sources of these, early pregnancy and teenage pregnancy, that we are, the teenage pregnancy and early marriage that we are registering in our community right there. And so, dear viewer, let's have the last one at this time. And so before we go for a break and diving into what we have in the dailies, you have to know that several learners from the different schools within Arua City turned up in numbers to offer support to their athletes at the Barifa Stadium in Arua City yesterday. And so the two-day event attracts, attracted learners, well-wishers, and other stakeholders who, reached to offer support to the participants from over 30 schools in Arua City that showed up to participate in different disciplines such as javelin, running, discus, shot put, and high jump, among others. Let's take a look.
Day one, is coming to an end successfully, we believe. The major challenge we had was the preparation of the field. The preparation of the field was the major challenge. You know, we have not for long been using this field for athletics. It has been a stadium for football. Now when we decided to come here for athletics, it has been a very big challenge. The running tracks were all not there. We have to come in and start preparing. And that's why out of 8 lanes, we are using 6 lanes. The 2 lanes still have problem with the iron bars which we are using for perimeter fence. They needed to be removed, but within this short period of time, we could not remove them in time.
We came here as a group of Red Cross team. We came to rescue lives, to help those who have gotten into accidents, who are shocked, who have fainted around the pitch. We came here to ensure that their lives are safe with us. What I expect at the end of the day is to help each and everyone who has an accident, at least to help life, and that's what we have all come here to do. For us, we are here to save lives. That's our team. That's the team of our program for
races will be champion.
School, I participate in short put, like field events, short put, javelin, high jump, and we are doing all good. We are also doing good like that. So,
Mvara, as far as this athletics is concerned, competition is concerned, according to the pedigree, Mvara had been doing very, very well. And it had been sending a great number of athletes to represent the Arua district former in the tournament, in the national tournament. But now, since it is now Arua city, this is the second time we are supposed to participate, but last year it was aborted. But this year, we hope we shall also send a great number of the athletes to represent Arua city. Yeah. We are prepared. We have been training the athletes. At first, we started with selecting the team for the interclass. Each class selected the team. We organized a tournament for each class to select the class team, and then after that, we went for the interclass. And we have come up with now the school team to represent the school in the city.
All right, thank you very much, dear viewer. You have heard from the different participants and well-wishers who turned up to witness day 1 of the post-primary schools, that is athletics championship, being undertaken right at Barifa Stadium here in Arua. And I have to tell you that what we have seen, that is not how Barifa used to be. I think there are some issues to do with the takeover of Barifa from the order of Arua Hill Soccer Club, and more of that story will be coming through during the whistle time hour, that is from 2 to 3, discussing issues to do with the takeover of the football pitches belonging to the local teams that we have here in Arua City. You have to know currently the discussion is about what has happened to Greenlight Stadium on Onduparaka, where the Ivo division has written to the management of Onduparaka Football Club to really stay off from the football pitch, because it does not belong to the club, it belongs to the government, and by law the accounting officer of the division has to be the custodian of the government property. And so this is what is currently happening, and it has caused a discussion here in Arua City. And I have seen also the same with the Barifa, that was the home of Arua Hill. I do not know whether Arua Hill has got its own home somewhere where the Barifa is still their home, but according to what I have seen from the video that we have captured, it clearly tells me that there seems to be takeover of Barifa Stadium, and the name of the stadium is Docas Inzikro Stadium. But we do not really forget about the contribution that Arua Hill Soccer Club contributed towards the development of that particular football pitch. And so I do not know what conversation took place or what conversations are right now, and so we shall be able to dig deeper and find to understand what exactly happened. How did it reach to that point of removing the perimeter fence put inside the football pitch by Arua Hill Soccer Club. Was there, memorandum of understanding that was signed by the Arua City, Teachers Association and the management of Arua Hill Soccer Club, that we are going to remove this perimeter fence, and after the athletics we are going to put it back. I do not know. We shall be able to find out more for you right there. Mine is to look at that particular story, not majorly sports. Those who are gifted with sport words, they will be able to discuss that more. Mine is about issues to do with procedures and law that we have in this country in as far as taking over a facility is concerned. Dear viewer, let's go for a break. You have to move at 27 minutes to the top of the hour of 9 a.m. right here on Westnile Television, and at exactly 9 a.m. I will be out of the studio and leaving you in the hands of other presenters with other programs that will be coming your way. And do not forget that it is KOKOLIRIKO Live on Westnile Television. My name is Denis Oringi. May the good Lord bless you as we go for a break, and when we come back we shall be diving into what we have in the daily this morning. We shall be looking at the daily Monitor and the New Vision. These are the major papers that we have here in our country, Uganda. And as Westnile sub-region, you have to know that we are a little bit very far away from the source of these papers. And it is important that we give you some of the top stories making headlines in these two dailies, the Daily Monitor and the New Vision, right here on Westnile Television. Good morning. Let's go for a break.
Westnile TV, lighting up the region. Westnile TV, lighting up the region.
Get more for less on Star Times this Easter season. Cartoon channel for best children entertainment. New global series. Local drama on Makula TV and football all around the world. Simply make weekly or monthly subscription and enjoy upgrade to the next bouquet. For classic or super bouquet customers, subscribe for a month and enjoy 5 days extra. Family time with Star Times. Star Times is regulated by UCC.
Westnile TV, lighting up the region. Westnile TV, lighting up the region.
Get more for less on Star Times this Easter season. Cartoon channel for best children entertainment. New global series. Local drama on Makula TV and football all around the world. Simply make weekly or monthly subscription and enjoy upgrade to the next bouquet. For classic or super bouquet customers, subscribe for a month and enjoy 5 days extra. Family time with Star Times. Star Times is regulated by UCC.
Westnile TV, lighting up the region.
Back and thank you very much for joining us right this morning, dear viewer. We do appreciate you very much, and you have to know that 23 minutes to the top of the hour of 9 a.m. right here on Westnile Television. And let us dive into what we have in the dailies today, the Daily Monitor and the New Vision. And we are starting with the Daily Monitor, some of the top stories that are making headlines in our country, Uganda. And this is what you need to know this morning in regards to the stories that are making headlines. Government to build shelter for domestic violence victims in Kabale. This is some good news coming through right there, that government of the Republic of Uganda will be building a shelter for domestic violence victims in Kabale. And what you need to know here, that in February, probation officers from the 6 districts that make up Kigezi sub-region released statistics indicating that 1,419 cases of domestic violence, were recorded between December last year and February in this year. And so they also indicated that the cases of domestic violence had resulted in 9,393 cases of teenage pregnancies and 1,516 cases of child neglect. And so the State Minister for Gender and Culture Affairs, that is Peace Mutuzo, has revealed government plans of establishing a shelter to accommodate victims of gender-based violence in Kabale district as the police handles their grievances right there. And so I think it shouldn't really be only Kabale, because if you come to West Nile, more especially at Arua, that is the Department of Family and Child Protection Unit that we have here in Arua. There are many children that are being, picked, abandoned on the streets of Arua city, and the police have nowhere to put these children. And so I think Ministry of Gender and Culture should really look into this, the issue of really constructing shelters for the gender-based violence victims that are really affected. We have wives that are being beaten by their husbands, and what they do is to run away from their home. Some of them run to police, and when they come to police has no shelter that should be used for accommodating these people overnight. And so the conversation about building shelters for the gender-based violence victims should really cut across. And the construction of this shelter should not be only for the people of Kabale. It has to be in all the districts that we have in this country, Uganda. And that will be a very good one. So according to the minister, the move is in response to increasing cases of GBV in Kigezi sub-region, is what you need to know right there. And so other stories that we have from the Daily Monitor is that jobless Karamojong set up camp in Soroti City, is what you need to know, that the Karamojong who are not employed, they have decided to set up a camp in Soroti City where they are really staying. And their makeshifts looked a little bit devastating, is what you need to know right there. That close to 100 Karimojong who aka a living day doing odd jobs in Soroti City have built a camp following failure to afford rent. And so the makeshift settlement made up of polythene bags and without sanitary facilities is situated in Pamba Ward, Western Division in Soroti City. And so Fiona Ashayo, 35 years old, from Nabilatuk district, who stays in the camp, said that casual work has become scarce and they can't afford the modest accommodation of about 50,000 in the city. And so she added that when they came across the empty space in Pamba Ward, they decided to set up a camp. And Ashayo said that she escaped from Nabilatuk because of the persistent food crisis there, with hope of making it in Soroti, but it is turning out to be tricky. And she added that their current worry is the threat of eviction after the people living in the affluent neighborhood reported to the resident district commissioner office that the makeshift shelter poses a health and security threat. And so that is what you need to know in regard to unemployment in our country, Uganda, forcing some people to really set up a camp in the makeshifts. And so that is what you need to know. 32 men petition immigration to cancel children passports after DNA testing, is what you need to know right there. That at least 32 men have written to the Directorate of that is Citizenship and Immigration Control, demanding the cancellation of children's passports after DNA results showed they are not the biological fathers of the children. Simon Peter Mundei, the Ministry of Internal Affairs spokesperson, said the men whose details they have decided to keep confidential applied and acquired passports for their wives and children, but after conducting DNA tests, realized the children do not belong to them. They have now gone back demanding that their details be removed from the children's passports. And so Mundei said that as DCIC, they cannot cancel passports unless the complainants go to the National Identification Registration Authority to change their details right there for you. Issues to do with the DNA. How many know the children that they are staying with are their children? And so if you don't know, if you still have that doubt, you can just go for a DNA test to confirm whether the child or the children you're staying with are your children. And so that is the trend that our country is taking. And so this story is really making rounds on social media where men are rushing for DNA tests in different, laboratories that we do have in this country, Uganda, right there for you. District in Lao accused of selling jobs is what you need to know right there. That during a cabinet meeting held in Lira City on Friday, the clan leaders said many district service commissions in the 9 districts that make up Lao were selling jobs as well as practicing nepotism during recruitment. And so the Lao Cashew Institution, Tekwara Lao, has expressed over the increasing cases of bribery during the recruitment process into public service in the area. During a cabinet meeting held in Lira City on Friday, the clan leaders said many district service commissions in the 9 districts that make up Lao were selling jobs as well as practicing nepotism during recruitment. A district service commission is the body mandated to source for and recruit human resources in a given district is what you need to know. Jerome Angena, the Minister of Land, Rights and Management in Tekwara Lao, said the practice of selling jobs has left many educated youth in Lao jobless. And so Lao is made up of Lira, Kole, Oyam, Apache, Kwania, Dokolo, Otuge, Amolata, and Aleptong. And so, however, you have to know that Daily Monitor could not independently verify the claim by the press time. And so in March this year, Reverend James Awany, the chairperson of the heads of district service commissions in Lao, told journalists that he had received several reports implicating members of the various commissions who allegedly ask for bribes from job seekers before they are recruited. And this is quite unfortunate right there, that for you to get a job in this country, you have to pay those that are recruiting so that you are really given the opportunity right there. And so which is longer, Amazon or Nile? New quest aims to settle all debate about which river is the longest in the world. And so some people are saying the river Amazon, some people do say that it is river Nile. And so there is already new quest aims to settle all debate of the oldest river in the world. And you have to know that people have been referring to river Nile to be the longest river that we have in the world. But some people are saying the longest river in the world is river Amazon that is found in the southern part of America, right there. Over 8,000 animals to be slaughtered as Muslims celebrate Eid tomorrow is good news that you need to know, that more than 8,000 animals are to be slaughtered across the country as part of celebrations to mark the annual Eid al-Adha. Muslims around the world will tomorrow, Wednesday, celebrate Eid al-Adha, which is the feast of sacrifice in commemoration of Prophet Ibrahim's willingness to obey God's command to sacrifice his only son, Ismail, and the later consent to being sacrificed. However, he was later commanded to spare the boy and kill a sheep. And so Eid al-Adha is the grand feast the Muslims celebrate to mark the end of the year according to the lunar Islamic calendar and according to the Sheikh Haidar Kiza, the vice chairperson of humanitarian efforts and relief that is here Uganda. His organization alone plans to slaughter 350 cows between Wednesday and Saturday. And so, unlike last year, Sheikh Kiza said the number of animals to be slaughtered have dropped due to economic constraints caused by COVID-19 pandemic and earthquake in Turkey that affected financial flow from their donors is what you need to know. So, Eid al-Adha to all the Muslim, faithfuls that we do have in our country, Uganda, and also out of Uganda. We shall join you to celebrate Eid Adha tomorrow, Wednesday, right there for you. And so we wish you well, and we wish you a nice celebration. And also, don't forget to invite your friends who are at your neighborhood as you celebrate. And I know my brother MC Saj will be inviting me, and I've been told that he has secured himself a very big sheep that is going to slaughter tomorrow. If you also have, you can share with me tomorrow, or share with Westnile Television family, as we shall be celebrating Eid Adha right there tomorrow. And I've been told by Muslim faithfuls that today the fasting is going to be that robust one, that it is really a painful fasting compared to the I think 30 days fasting that they always have for the other Eid that we celebrated early this year. And so that's something that you need to know. Primary 6 people commit suicide in Mintoma. I think this is quite unfortunate that a primary pupil committing suicide is one of the story. Habal is arrested over claims of curing HIV with onions is what you need to know. That Abalis has been arrested for claiming that he can cure HIV using onion is what you need to know. And then government must tackle fuel crisis to save tree cover. Environmentalists have warned right there. And then 5 officers injured after police truck overturns. That is in Mbale is what you need to know. 3 siblings hacked to death in Fort Porto is also another sad story that you need to know. That women killed 2 days after murder of 5 family members in Masaka is also another one. And then Kasese school attack, shared bodies of 11 students identified is also another good news that has come through. And then Minister Probs City Development Plan delays is what you need to know. Then row erupts over Soroti Golf Club land is another thing. Then MP defies court order on Lira churches. And then Ugandans yearn for more online exhibitions. LDC caution against admitting many students. And then back of Justice Amoko Burial Side Row, that is Kanyero Hamba, tells court that please leave the issue of where Justice Amoko is to be buried. Stay off from that issue. This warning has come from the former justice of this country, Kanyero Hamba, telling the court right there for you. Let's go for a break, and when we come back, we shall be diving into what we have in the New Vision this morning. My name is Denis Oringi. Let's have a break, and when we come back, we'll be looking at what we have in the New Vision. Good morning.
Westnile TV, lighting up the region.
Get more for less on Star Times this Easter season. Cartoon channel for best children entertainment. New global series. Local drama on Makula TV and football all around the world. Simply make weekly or monthly subscription and enjoy upgrade to the next bouquet. For classic or super bouquet customers, subscribe for a month and enjoy 5 days extra. Family time with Star Times. Star Times is regulated by UCC.
Westnile TV, lighting up the region.
Right, we'll be back. Thank you very much, dear viewer. You have to know that it is KOKOLIRIKO Live. And so let's dive into the New Vision, and we give you some of the stories making headlines in the New Vision. You have to know that 9 people have been arrested over attacks on mobile money agents. 4 guns recovered. This is according to the police spokesperson, Fred Enanga, who has confirmed to the media that 9 people have been arrested in regards to the attack on mobile money agents. And they have decided to recover 4 guns, is what you need to know. Enanga said the arrests were made following 2 major operations on June 20th and June 22nd. right there. And so the police says it has arrested 9 suspected robbers behind a spate of robberies targeting mobile money outlets and agents in Kampala City. And police also recovered 2 guns in the sting operation. Fred Enanga, the entity spokesperson, said on Monday. And so he said operations against criminals who criminals had been undertaken by the Police Directorate of Crime Intelligence in coordination with the Kampala Metropolitan Police Flying Squad Unit and the Territorial Police in Sanji, Kabalagala, as well as in Kasanda District. And so Enanga said the arrests were made following 2 major operations done June 20th and June 22nd. The facts gathered indicate that counter-intelligence teams at Kampala Metropolitan Police built on intelligence targeting silence behind the multiple robberies in Greater Kampala. As a result, they tracked down and arrested Paulo Kasozi on June 20th at around 11 p.m. Along Wakaliga Road and impounded that is motor vehicle, a Mark Grand Silver under registration number UAH 874H. He said on Monday during the weekly security briefing at the police headquarters in Nagru, Kampala, right there. So he noted that an immediate search was conducted and a police gun, a loaded AK-47 with 30 rounds of ammunition was recovered from the car boot. His arrest led us to his accomplices in the Nabingo, where Geoffrey Luwemba alias General Arafat Kato, Sampira, Peter Bukenya alias Imram, and Akram Waswa were arrested. And so on further interrogation, Enanga said the suspects admitted to having participated in 4 armed robberies this year alone. And so the robberies, these include the aggravated robbery of shillings of 3 million on June 15th, targeting Sylvia Ndagire, a mobile money operator at Tikinawa Trading Center, Bandwe Sal, Kasenge, Chengera in Wakiso district. So the suspect also admitted to aggravated robbery of shillings, that is 1.5 million, and phones from Brian Kalubo, a mobile money operator at Tikinawa Trading Center. And so others include aggravated robbery of shillings 8 million robbed from Sarah Nabatazi, a mobile money operator and resident of Akitemo Sal in Chengera, Wakiso district, and aggravated robbery of shillings, that is 12 million, and mobile phones from Michael Luere, and 2 others identified at Monica and Idi at Namingo, Kianja zone right there. And so I think kudos to Uganda Police for a job well done of arresting those that were terrorizing the mobile money operators in Kampala. And so if you were able to watch the video clips captured from the CCTV camera footage, you will really ask yourself what need to be done to these kind of gentlemen who were really terrorizing people. As temperatures climb, the pilgrims ascend Mount Arafat for Hajj. Climax is what you need to know that more than 2.5 million pilgrims were expected to join the Hajj, one of the world's largest religious gatherings. One of the religious gatherings and a source of legitimacy for the oil-rich country's royal rulers is what you need to know, that hundreds of thousands of Muslim pilgrims crowded Saudi Arabia's Mount Arafat on Tuesday, the climax of a potentially record-breaking Hajj pilgrimage held, in a fierce summer heat. As dawn broke, groups of worshippers recited their Quran verses on the rocky rise where the Prophet Muhammad is believed to have given his final sermon. The ritual is the high point of the annual pilgrimage, one of the 5 pillars of Islam that officials say could be the biggest on record after 3 years of COVID restrictions, and more than 2.5 million pilgrims were expected to join the Hajj, one of the world's largest religious gatherings and a source of legitimacy for the oil-rich country's royal rulers. And temperatures soared to 46 degrees Celsius, that is 113, that is the Fahrenheit, on Monday as the worshippers are shielded by the umbrellas, journeyed from Mecca to Mina, where they slept in a giant tented city before the rites at Mount Arafat. Egyptian school teacher Tasnim Gamal said she was emotionally overwhelmed to arrive at Arafat, whose rituals are a compulsory part of the pilgrimage. And quoting her, saying that, "I cannot describe my feelings. I am living a great joy," the 35-year-old woman said. And so Gamal is performing the Hajj without a male guardian, a requirement that was shielded by Saudi authorities until 2021. This year, a maximum age limit has also been removed, giving thousands of elderly the chance to attend. And so Tuesday today provides the biggest physical challenge. Pilgrims will spend hours praying and reciting the Quran on Mount Arafat and in the surrounding area amid high temperatures. Unlike Mecca, dotted with hotels and malls and tents of Mina, air-conditioned shelter is scarce. And so as helicopters buzzed overhead, entry roads were packed with worshippers. Thousands of health workers were on alert for cases of health stroke and exhaustion. And so the heat risk will be highest, that is from noon to 3 p.m. when outdoor labor is banned in Saudi Arabia between June and September to protect workers. After sunset, pilgrims will travel the short distance to, that is Muzdalifah, halfway between Arafat and Mina, to sleep in the open air. And so following the day, they will gather pebbles and hold them at the 3 giant concrete walls in the symbolic stoning of the devil, that is ritual. And so the last stop is back at Mecca's Grand Mosque, where they will perform a final, that is circumambulation of the Kaaba, the giant black cube that Muslims worldwide pray towards each day. And so heat is not the only risk at Hajj, which has seen multiple crises over the years, including militant attacks and also deadly fires. And so this is what you need to know are taking place currently. And for those who have traveled to Mecca from Uganda, you did see the other time a number of pilgrims from Uganda leaving using Uganda Airlines to go to Mecca to participate in the annual pilgrimage that do take place in Mecca. And so this morning, those who had gone to Mecca, they are making it to Mina, and after that they will return to Mecca to make their final, ritual and also, reciting of Quran right there. Meanwhile, for our brothers and sisters in the Muslim faith who are here in Uganda, you can join those that are in Mecca in reciting Quran as you wait for tomorrow's Eid al-Duha, as you will be slaughtering the cows and also sheep and whatever animals that are eaten will be slaughtered tomorrow. And make sure that you invite your brothers and sisters who are Christians to join you in the celebration. 2 minutes to the top of the hour of 9 a.m. right here on Westnile Television. And allow me to give you a quick mention of what is happening in the sports right this morning for you. And from sports, you have to know that AFCON 2027 bid gets East African Legislative Assembly boost, and then Tamale poised to challenge status quo. FUFA TV Cup, Motiala attributes 4-star performance for friends. Bunyoro ride on free agents in FUFA drum is what you need to know. Then and then also you have to Messi. Time at PSG was difficult, and this is according to Messi, that his time at Paris Saint-Germain was difficult right there. And people want to get more on this particular story before I sign out right here, because I have only a minute for me to be here. Lionel Messi has called his start at former club Paris Saint-Germain very tough, dubbing 2 successive failed Champions League bids a massive disappointment, and quoting him saying that I came to Paris because I like the club, because I had friends in the dressing room. It seemed easier for me to adapt rather than another destination I could have gone to. Messi, and this is what you need to know right there. And so I arrived late. I didn't have a preseason. The start was difficult for me. My family Messi status signed for PSG in the summer of 2021 after 17 seasons at Barcelona, but will now head that is a stateside to Inter Miami in the MLS after quitting the French capital. Messi's first season, during which he scored 11 goals in 34 games for PSG, was made other after he contracted COVID during the winter break back in Argentina, meaning he was sidelined for a month right there. And so it took me time to refine my physical form, he admitted, adding that the 2022 World Cup in Qatar, which Messi won with Argentina, also took its toll right there. And so it's not an excuse, but the World Cup played what we call a big role, and some came back later than others, and some were injured like Neymar. And so these are some of the stories from the world of sport that I have prepared for you this morning. And dear viewer, you have to know that exactly at 2 p.m. We shall be having a whistle time, and so more of the sports stories will be discussed right at that time. And dear viewer, we thank you and appreciate you for being with us right from the time that we started the show up to this particular time. I am signing out of the studio. Thank you very much for being with us. And for those who want to do business with Westnile Television, we still have the platform for you. If you want to sponsor KOKOLIRIKO Live that comes your way every Monday through Friday, you still have the free space for you to book in with us so that we can grow our businesses together. Have the best of your morning and happy Eid Hadua for our brothers and sisters in the Muslim faith as you really fast for the day tomorrow. We wish you well in your fasting. And may the good Lord may Allah blesses you in your endeavors. Thank you very much. I am out of here. God bless you.